Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. William Saliba will start for Arsenal against Crystal Palace tonight. According to The Sun, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta will hand William Saliba his first ever start in the Premier League tonight against Crystal Palace. The Gunners kickstart the new campaign with a London derby at Selhurst Park later today. Mikel Arteta will know how difficult this game will be after watching his side lose 3-0 in the same fixture just 4 months ago. Things, however, are very different for Arsenal now. They are full of energy after a fantastic pre-season, and their new signings have given fans a lot of hope ahead of the start of the new campaign. One player who feels like a new signing, even though he isn't, is 21-year-old Saliba. Arsenal splashed £27 million to sign Saliba from Saint-Etienne back in 2019. He has been out on loan on 3 separate occasions since, and he impressed in every one of those spells. As good as Saliba has been, Arsenal fans haven't ever seen him in a competitive game in the famous red and white. Arteta just wasn't convinced that he was ready, but things seem to have changed now. Saliba, branded as extraordinary, was one of Arsenal's stars in pre-season. He was almost flawless in every game that he played, and he's now set to be rewarded for his performances. The report claims that Saliba will make his first ever start for Arsenal in the Premier League against Crystal Palace tonight. Arsenal fans will love this. Even though Saliba hasn't ever played for the Gunners in a competitive game before, he is a fan favourite. Arsenal supporters have been desperate to see him play in the Premier League, and they could finally get their wish tonight. The 21-year-old's performances in pre-season were outstanding. He didn't look phased on a single occasion, not even against Champions League sides like Chelsea and Sevilla. He completely deserves to keep his place in the side, but the Premier League is a big step up compared to a pre-season friendly, and it will be interesting to see how he fares. Kieran Tierney says he's ready ahead of Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Ahead of Arsenal's opening Premier League game against Crystal Palace tonight, Kieran Tierney has suggested that he has recovered from his injury and is now ready to go. The Scotsman, branded as a brilliant left-back by Chris Sutton, has had a torrid time with injuries ever since he joined the Gunners. In his 3 years at the Emirates, the 25-year-old has missed 48 games in all competitions, and he has often been a huge miss. Throughout pre-season, Tierney played just 30 minutes of football. He's among 3 other players who have been reported as doubtful for the game against Crystal Palace tonight, but his latest comments will give Arsenal supporters a lot of hope. Tierney, who hasn't played in the Premier League since the 3rd week of March, has claimed that he's ready to go. Tierney sat down for an interview with Sutton on the Daily Mail, and the Scotland international's comments suggest he's now completely fit. He said, "I'm ready, I'm good to go. I went to a training camp in Marbella in the summer and worked there for 10 days to get fit. Me and the sports scientist and physios and a few others. In a sad way, I know my way around an injury now, but it definitely doesn't get any easier." Arsenal have brought in Alexander Zinchenko from Manchester City to compete with Tierney at left back. The Ukrainian is a much better option than Nuno Tavares, and everyone is expecting him to start at left full back ahead of Tierney when the Gunners take on Crystal Palace tonight. However, with the 5 substitutions rule kicking in this season, there is a very good chance that Tierney could play a part at some point now that he has revealed that he's ready to go. It will be interesting to see who Arteta will pick at left back when both Zinchenko and Tierney are fully fit. Mikel Arteta says all the Arsenal staff absolutely love Martin Odegaard. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has waxed lyrical about Gunners captain Martin Odegaard ahead of their Premier League opener. Last week, Arsenal confirmed that the 23-year-old has become the Gunners' new permanent skipper ahead of the 22-23 campaign. Odegaard has made a significant impact at Arsenal since his initial loan move from Real Madrid in January 2021. Arsenal then snapped the Norway captain up in the summer for a reported £34 million. Odegaard has played 60 games for the Gunners and established himself as one of their most consistent players. Ahead of Friday meetings with Crystal Palace, the Arsenal media team asked Arteta about the decision to make Odegaard captain. "This season, we had the opportunity to do it in the way that I believe could work," said the Arsenal boss. "Martin has been with us for 18 months. and in my opinion is a player who represents the values of his football club in the perfect way. He is well respected by everyone around the team, he is admired by all the staff, he has the experience even though he's 23, he has done it for the national team. He has a passion about the game that he promotes every single day around the club and the way he plays. So I'm really happy to have someone like him and he's on board. He is enjoying that responsibility and he will need support, but for sure it's a huge thing for him as well. When asked whether there is still a leadership group at Arsenal, Arteta replied, "There is." Arteta hints he won't be starting two Arsenal players as often this season. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has hinted that Kieran Tierney and Takehiro Tomiyasu won't start as often this season. The Gunners boss was speaking at his press conference ahead of today's Premier League opener at Crystal Palace. Tierney and Tomiyasu both missed large periods of last season due to injury issues. Both players are doubts for Arteta ahead of Arsenal's trip to Selhurst Park. 3 out of 4 of those players, Tomiyasu, Tierney, Emil Smith-Rowe and Fabio Vieira, are going to be training this afternoon. The Gunners boss told the club media team yesterday, and if everything goes well, they will be available for selection and in the squad. Arteta then spoke specifically about Tierney and Tomiyasu's injuries. He suggested their problems last season were due to Arsenal rushing them back. Hopefully not long-term injuries, said Arteta. The reason they got those precedent injuries are for different reasons, probably because the squad didn't enable them to recover, and we didn't play them when it was necessary, and it was too tired when they weren't fully recovered, so sometimes we had to rush them. It was a combination of things with those two players. They're so pushy and willing to contribute with the team. We know that with those two fit and performing at their best, we are much stronger as a team. Mikel Arteta opens up his expectations for Gabriel Jesus. Mikel Arteta spoke to the press ahead of Arsenal's Premier League opener with the Crystal Palace today, and he admits that Gabriel Jesus has adapted well so far. The Brazilian has signed from Manchester City this summer to take up the main centre-forward role, with Alexander Lacazette moving on at the end of his previous contract, and has hit the ground running with 7 goals from his 5 outings in pre-season. Confidence is extremely high in regards to both the team and the impact that Jesus could have going into the new season, but Arteta is reluctant to pile the pressure of his new signing, asking his entire team to contribute instead. When you bring top players, they are coming from top clubs and they have been extremely successful over the years. They are going to expect that. The role that Gabi has here is going to be very difficult to the role that Gabi had in his previous club. That needs some adaptation and some time. He's done it fantastically well, and we are all surprised how quickly he's done it, but we have to share that responsibility, and he is an enormous talent, a player with a mentality that is contagious, and he's going to give us a lot, but it's a team contribution at the end of the day. Arsenal set to make money on midfielder in final year of his contract. Arsenal are reportedly after another central midfielder this summer, but Mikel Arteta was convinced that Lucas Torreira was not that player. The 26-year-old started well at Arsenal after arriving from Sampdoria in 2018. The Uruguayan put in some impressive performances, adding some aggression to the midfield at the Emirates. Since things have been on the slide at Arsenal, in fact, he has spent the last 2 seasons out on loan at Atletico Madrid and then Fiorentina last season. Torreira only has a year left on his deal, and with no renewal on the horizon, it looks as if Arsenal will try to recoup some of the £25.8 million that they spent on him. Fabrizio Romano reports that a deal has been done between Arsenal and Galatasaray for Torreira, with the Gunners taking in between £5 and £6 million in the process. No doubt Arsenal will be pleased to have some income for a player that likely wasn't in their plans, but overall it has to go down as a poor move. Arteta insists Fulham signing Leno will remember it at Arsenal. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta believes that departed goalkeeper Bernd Leno will always be remembered fondly at the club. The German international has signed for Fulham as he wanted regular first-team football in a World Cup year. Leno was behind England shot-stopper Aaron Ramsdale in the pecking order under Arteta last season. The manager told reporters before their game against Crystal Palace, for Bernd at the end, it was just a professional relationship that he wanted to sustain because he is a player that for the past 11 years has always started games and he's so used to it. He is an international player, but then I spoke to him last night. It's a man who will be remembered here, and it's a privilege to work with him, but in football, you have to make decisions and try to get the best out of your players to play the way you want to play. And Bernd has found a move that he and his family are really happy with, and we wish him all the best. Arsenal board loves Youri Tielemans, claimed journalist. Reported Arsenal target Youri Tielemans has plenty of fans within the Gunners hierarchy, according to journalist Ryan Taylor. However, the Daily Express reporter says the Leicester ace is not a definite to join Arsenal at this moment in time anyway. The Gunners have been heavily linked with a move for Tielemans for a while now. Rumors first emerged all the way back in January this year. They have been pretty much constant since the summer window opened as well. And while it looks as though Arsenal are certainly keen on Tielemans, they are yet to bid for him. Indeed, Leicester chairman recently claimed his club hadn't received any offers for Tielemans. Taylor, writing on Give Me Sport, understands the Arsenal board continues to regard Tielemans highly. However, he also believes that the fact the Gunners are yet to make their move for the player is significant given their past business. He is a player that they admire, and he is widely admired by the Arsenal hierarchy as well, but he's not, at the moment, a definite to join Arsenal, whereas we've seen earlier in the window that clear Arsenal targets, Jesus, Zinchenko, Vieira, they moved straight for them. They entered negotiation, whereas there's been no offer so far for Tielemans. Fabrizio Romano previously reported that Tielemans would love to join the Gunners this summer. The 25-year-old's £120,000 a week Leicester contract expires next year, and he's yet to pen fresh terms. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.